GM Farcaster. It is, what day is this? Friday, the 13th of September. And you are here with Nounish Prof and Adrian for 24 hours of Farcaster news to start your day wherever you are. So, yes.
And end your day.
And end your day. And just spend your whole all your waking moments with us today. So today is very special. It is our 1-year anniversary. We made it. It's amazing. I'm shocked, but here we are. And so we are going to be streaming for the whole day, and we'll be streaming various things throughout the day. So some things will be pre-recorded, some things will be live. You can follow us in the GM Farcaster channel for the full schedule and for everything we're going to be doing today. That's the best place to find all the info. And we also have this very fun mint that is just opened that you can pick up during our 24-hour extravaganza. It kicks off right now for 24 hours. And we are building some special things to go along with this mint, but they're not ready yet because I had to go to sleep for at least a few hours. So we are in the process, and I've been trying to do this for probably about a year. A little merch shop with fun things like our cute little mugs, and these NFTs are going to have a special opportunity related to that. So, and if you mint multiple, there might be some other fun things. So we'll see. And if you like leaderboards, I'm not saying there's anybody who watches this show that likes leaderboards or anything. That might come into play as well. We're excited to be here with you. And we have a whole calendar of events for today on events.xyz. And you can find all of it right here. And you can follow the channel calendar to get notifications of everything. So if you want to, wake up, babe, there's a new leaderboard. That's hilarious. And if you want to just follow the calendar, you'll get DC notifications when we go live. Or you can subscribe to individual things that we're going to be talking about today. Or
you can just stay here the entire day.
You can just
if you're here now, just stay.
Just stay. Just wherever you are, we're going to be there. So we'll be streaming throughout the day on all of our platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Unlonely, and within our own little StreamYard. So jump on in. But I want to just talk about a few highlights coming up for today. We are going to have a live chat with DWR.eth, Dan Romero, one of the founders of Farcaster. And before he's on, right before that, at 11 a.m., we're going to replay episode 38 and chat about relive that. That was from December of 2023, and then kind of think about how far we've come. What a big change since then. We're also going to get a sneak peek at the State of Farcaster report with Snickerdoodle at 12:30 p.m. You are not going to want to miss that. That's going to be really interesting, and it'll be the first look at that report. It's just coming out. It's just being released today, and then the full report, I think, isn't even being released till next week. So it's you're definitely getting a sneak peek at everything. We're going to have a base builders hour featuring a few different folks from base and base builders from Talent Protocol, Moshicam, and Cattown. And shout out to Cattown, who's also going to be sponsoring a few things throughout the day, including prizes for our trivia and for poker. And then we have Purple Hour, where we're going to be talking about all things Purple DAO and talking about the current rounds that's going on with Emery and Chris Corella. We have a vibe check that we recorded yesterday, the day before. When was that? 2 days ago, with Dewoofi. So get the little, how the tables turn, how the turntables. That's what it is. I was trying to do it the wrong way, and I did it the right way. with Dwoofy. So he interviewed us, and that'll be playing later this afternoon. That one's at 5:30. We have live candle
That was
making.
hilarious for me, by the way, watching you have to sit back and get interviewed and like give up control of the mic.
Torture.
Hilarious.
Torture. No, it was fun. It was really fun. So we're doing some live candle making with Samantha, and she was calling it candle making AMSR in the evening, so around 9:30. We're also going to be playing poker with Burberry, who has been running a poker club on Farcaster, and some of our friends like Toady Hawk and Sparks, maybe Alina Ferry. She's iffy right now. Chic Bangs, Poe, a few other folks from the club Ted Poker, maybe Ted. Ted's iffy because she's about to head to Singapore. So excited to have that crew, and I'm really excited to meet Melissa and Burberry. She goes by Burberry on Farcaster. She's a professional poker player, so that'll be really fun. And we're also going to have Toady Hawk on around 9 o'clock to actually explain what the heck 9 o'clock is and chat a little bit about nouns. I know I've left off a bunch of things. We have a pre-recorded highlight reel of Here for the Art. So that is that's why I was up until 2:30 in the morning, trying to get that to work. So I think it's all set now. So that'll be playing as well with our Here for the Art little highlight reel and an actual highlight reel in the next hour. Starting at 9:30 a.m., we are going to have some of our favorite chatters on, and they're going to be doing some GM Farcaster trivia for prizes. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited, and as well as bringing up some other folks. If anyone wants to jump up and chat with us, you'll have an opportunity to do so. So just make sure you're in the StreamYard chat if you do want to jump on stage. But that'll be in the next hour. So what did I miss? Did I miss anything? I know I did, but I can't even remember. And then we'll be replaying a lot of this in the late night. That's what I forgot. 10:30 p.m. we're going to do a late night tavern hang. So we're going to be hanging out in tavern. We'll be streaming it on our channels on YouTube and Twitter at least. And we'll be chatting in tavern, so you can come hang with us there. And we'll be bringing up some friends to chat with, and I'm hoping to have Peachy in that chat with us, and some other folks from the other side of the world who will just be waking up. So it'll be GM for them. So a little GM in the
It's just
PM.
going to be fun, like
It's
a
just gonna be
big
fun.
party all day.
Party all day.
And
You know,
it's
that's
Friday
it.
the 13th. So it's also kind of we said the start to spooky season felt like it was appropriate.
Okay.
So nothing is going to go wrong.
It's just for
Friday.
heavyweight. It's just for heavyweight because we know she loves spooky season so much. Yeah, and I was thinking about why did I pick the 13th, and I know why. Because I was ready to start that week, and Monday was the 11th, and I was like, I can't start a show on 9/11.
I think you should not.
I just couldn't do it. So that's why we started on a Wednesday instead. Because I was thinking back, I'm like, why did I do that? I'm like, oh, I know why I did that. Yeah, it makes sense. It's sometimes you can't remember. Like, why did I do these crazy things? Adrian, how you feeling today?
Yeah, well, by the way, when we first said we'll do a 24-hour stream, the original vision for it was a telethon.
Yes.
And I like 24-hour celebration party hanging with friends better than telethon. Actually.
Yeah. But should you want to lean into the telethon?
Yeah,
here's your opportunity. Go mint this lovely little commemorative NFT celebrating our 1-year anniversary with cake and coffee. Yeah, so we get the 2 little purple coffee cups for us, our microphones, and a cake. So very exciting. I actually have real live cake too. I bought some cupcakes for later. So
is it purple icing?
No, and I was very disappointed that I couldn't find any purple icing. I did try. Although my bang that I have ready for later is purple haze. So I do have that ready for later on today.
What does purple haze taste? What flavor is purple haze?
And it's kind of grape flavorish. I do drink that one on occasion. I drink Bang maybe 6 times a year or something when I really need to stay awake, and it's usually when I'm playing poker of all things. It's really funny. And otherwise, I don't get that hard with my caffeine. But I was like, I think I need to be prepared today. I think I'm going to need this, so I did at least theme it. Okay, let's move along. We do have a little bit of news before. Actually, you know what? Before I go there, I want to talk to you about this, because this was from Adrian, and I thought this is a great post. Here's some talk about running GM Farcaster as a business. I am obsessed with the intersection of KK's 1000 True Fans concept with the power of Web3 and blockchains for being able to build a media business by connecting directly with an audience/supporters. But I also believe in the traditional corporate sponsorship model for making entertainment free and accessible to everyone. Prof and I have talked at length about our desire to only work with brands that are values aligned and that we would be proud to represent. Really happy to say that in the 6 months since we opened up sponsorships, we've been proud to represent these amazing brands. And I'm so glad to hear some of you feel the same. Pinata Cloud, Matcha XYZ, Bolide, Dynamic, Stickerdoodle, Base. And we've also had a few others like Poster, which was Lens Post at the time with Cyber Shakti, and Quidley from Justin On, and Farkiver from Artloo, and Wake, who was just like Wake. It was just Wake.
Our first.
Our very first one.
That was our first experiment to the experiment.
It was. We had an early experiment. And I'm super grateful for our sponsors allowing, letting us do this full time, really is what it comes down to. Can we do this full time and really continue to build this? And this kind of support is what makes it possible. But we're very picky about which brands we work with. So if you see them on here, we've vetted as hard as we can before we let them in. So
yeah, we're turning down brands left and right. You guys don't even know.
You don't even know.
You don't even know. So when I casted that was actually meant to be a recast from something Borrow Lucid casted, like a quote cast. And I don't know where the quote cast went. Is this fake news? Someone go, I need to go check.
Think it's probably
crypto.
Based on who it is. It might be true.
Just minted one. Happy birthday, GM Farcaster, for each week you broadcast.
Crazy. You are crazy. Thank you, Yes to Crypto. You're getting something special from us for sure.
And you're definitely number one on the leaderboard.
Yeah, you're definitely number one on the leaderboard for sure. I saw that quote-cast from Borrow Lucid. I don't know if I.
But now I don't see it show up in my cast. But I gave a shout out to Snickerdoodle and Base, who are current for kind of helping us put this 1 year celebration on, and she casted I Love Them Even More Now.
Yes.
Which was like, because advertising can get tricky. So I just had the moment of appreciation. And maybe not everyone feels the same, but I did have a moment of appreciation for like how lucky we are that I actually also love these brands.
Yeah, and we love these brands, and our audience is resonating with it. Our community, I should say. You're not really an audience; you're a community.
Friends,
I mean that, and I mean that totally, totally mean that. Not even just saying that. All right, a few other pieces of news. It's not just about us, because the rest of the day is going to be just about us. Trisol, the same 6 remain for day 18 of Warpcast rewards, and then there were 6. Curious Hermit, Trisol, Murtaza, 6, Keckers, and Ted. Yes. Oh, has it changed?
Oh, we weren't sharing.
Sorry, we weren't showing it. Yeah,
and there's too many to choose from.
It's only been a year. One of these days I'm going to actually get it right.
People want to see what you're sharing.
Let's see what I'm sharing. Is that how this works? Oh God, it's going to be a long day. This from Sayx. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that I'm just call him Dan. That I'm launching a new channel focused on curating the best clips from live streams on Farcaster. If you enjoy staying connected to live content but don't always have the time to catch every moment, This channel will bring you the highlights, epic moments, and funniest clips from your favorite creators. Stay tuned for regular updates and let me know if there are any specific streams you want featured. Cameron now thinks he's Dr. Dolittle. Okay. Very excited to see Dan taking this initiative. And he reached out and asked me about it. And I'm like, yeah, you should definitely do it. I said, just check with the creators on their copyright to make sure that it is okay with them. But it was certainly okay with me. So very excited to see that happening. Also, in other news, a warm Farcaster welcome to the Vietnamese ladies. And then Alina said, I got dudes too. And that was also mentioned by Zinger. Anyone else getting followed by a bunch of Vietnamese girls? Welcome to Farcaster ladies. Great to have you here. By the way, that was Randamero, not Dan Romero, just to be clear. So we and in unrelated news, in unrelated news from Varun, about to ship some improvements to the spam model. We'll make a lot of the bots go away. Will be a constant cat and mouse game, but we will win in the long run. So they are working on it. Hang in there. We'll get there.
Maybe all those bots actually came. Maybe it was an inside job. Maybe it was Merkel spinning them up to test in production. That's my theory.
It could be. It could very well be. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know about that. I don't think they're actually trying to have us have all these bots, but we'll see. We'll see how the improvements go. This was very good to see. Cool to see Moxie listen to feedback about reply farming. Should improve replies for active casters. This is changes to Moxie rewards just went live as discussed on Moxie community call earlier today. Background: since Moxie launched, and especially since we leveled the playing field with far boosts 2 weeks ago, there's been a 50% overall increase in likes, replies, recasts, quotecasts in Farcaster. So continue on, since far boost launched, this also led to daily Moxie rewards emissions growing from 5 million a day to 10 million a day. The Moxie protocol white paper foresaw this and prescribes regular adjustments for growth. As such, the following changes put into effect. Recasts and quote go from giving 10x FAR score to 6x, max 150 RQ per day from you will give Moxie. Replies go from 5x FAR score to giving 3x FAR score each, max 300 replies per day from you will give Moxie. Furthermore, Firepower is coming in 2 weeks. Firepower lock fan tokens, stake to get higher boosts. Can apply Firepower to any fan token. At that point, unlock Fire Boost will be capped from then on. LP boosts will be uncapped. So that's a lot. But for those who are Moxie Maxies, this is some interesting approaches. And it reminds me of things like the halving and, that kind of deflationary and sort of making adjustments to as things grow. And so it does seem like a good thing. So good to see. Good to see the adjustments happening.
And we'll be quizzing everyone on the details of that cast during our trivia. So make sure you know every detail.
Please study up.
Yeah.
Please study up.
Love how Moxie keeps getting simpler to understand. So
that was good. Yeah, no, not really. I think I understand it less than I did the first day, but that's funny. This from Varun and actually from Gabriel, quote casting Gabriel Oeso. At Warpcast, we love graphs that go down and to the right. So only in this case. I feel the need for speed. So this is speeding up load times, which is great. Of the I think this is related to the direct casts, if I'm correct. So that was very cool. This was cool to see from Jake Chervinsky. What do you not understand about crypto law or policy that you wish someone would explain like I'm 5? And there was some really good stuff in here, like, is dropping a token legal or not? And then The answer is it depends. I think actually
Isn't
that
NFT
was Lynx's reply, and it was accurate. Accurate reply. What were you gonna say?
is an NFT a
What were you
security?
gonna say? Yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't know, and that's the kind of the problem at the moment. By the way, when I teach my law class, I always say there's two answers, and it's U.S. law, by the way, related. There's two answers to 90% of the questions, and one is the Constitution, and two is it depends. And it depends is the larger of the two. So it depends is usually what you're going to get from a lawyer, and that's what most of these answers are, but also a little bit better. And then it's, there's some interesting questions like why can't my cap table be fully on chain? And then I talked about it could. What does the recent SEC warning to OpenSea mean for small independent artists like me who minter artwork as sales as NFTs? So, and that answer was helpful. It means very sadly, you need to pay attention to news about the OpenSea enforcement action plus the offensive lawsuit filed against the SEC by J-Man, that's Song a Day Man, to see what positions the SEC takes and whether those affect how you do your work. Wish I could say more, but I'm not your lawyer. In other words, it depends.
Right.
In other words, it depends. So there's a lot happening in this AMA, and I definitely recommend checking. It has some really good info if you opt some of these things. This was from Borrow Lucid. I found it.
Oh,
This was it. She was quote casting your thank you to our incredible premier sponsors, Snickerdoodle and Base. Snickerdoodle is revolutionary the way brands connect with audiences in the way only Web3 allows. Base is making Ethereum accessible to everyone, bringing the next billion users on chain. And this was Borrow Lucid saying, honestly, this makes me like them, which was nice to see. We are going to shift gears and watch our very first episode. And I need to actually pull that up because I thought I had it ready and I did not. First day and all. So, Adrian, before we do this, have you watched episode 1 at all prior to this? Like since we did it?
literally, it's like I can't think of anything more torturous than having to watch repeat shows I listen sometimes to our shows because I want to hear how it sounds. It's really hard to watch. I made a highlight reel, so I pulled in episode 1, and I saw the first like few minutes of it, but I've not watched the entire first thing.
Okay. I haven't either. So that's good because we're about to do this in just a second. And we're going to do a little live reaction to episode 1. The other thing I wanted to mention, there was a dev call that happened, I think it was yesterday. And at the end of the dev call, there was discussion about channels, and channels is changing. So I did listen into that. And we're going to be asking Dan about that when we chat with him later today. So I didn't want to dive into that too much, but that was some biggish news as well. There you go. That was interesting regarding Moxie. I watched the community call yesterday, and Jason said he wants to make adjustments transparently and gradually so it doesn't shock us like seasons can do. Yeah, that I do think is really helpful.
We should actually
keep that
shout out.
open.
I think this came up recently. We were talking about like talking to new people and telling them all the opportunities and like how to get involved in Farcaster. And it's like there's taverns to go to. Oh, I guess last week we were talking about it with Farcaster Fridays. Like if you've never been
Yes.
to an IRL event, just go. If you don't know it, just go. Just show up. But there's
Exactly.
so many of these calls as well, and there's dev calls and community calls for Moxie and others. And I just kind of want to shout out the entire space for doing that because
Yeah.
the opportunities are there, the information's there for you to learn and meet people and get involved, and I think that's pretty cool. So I haven't been to
That's
a Moxie
awesome.
community call, but I know Jason's doing them, and I think I just want to shout that out because I think it's good and cool.
I agree. I think and the more transparent we are and the more we're involving the users, it's the better it's going to be for the business as well, for the project that's creating these things. So I think that's really a great point. And I just realized I hadn't logged into Unlonely, so I'm trying to do that right now. So if you're watching on Unlonely, yeah. I can't get logged in right now.
I'm in
All
a
right.
lonely chat. They're very
Okay.
chatty. Hi, everyone.
They're very chatty today. Are they
Yeah.
chatty?
I wish we were all in one place. Love you.
I know. Someday.
Naomi. Hi, Naomi. I'll send you a postcard.
Someday it will happen. All right. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let me make sure it looks good on the screen
How
there.
does this work? Are we reacting? Can we talk? Do
Oh
we chat?
yeah, we're reacting.
Do we type?
Oh, we're definitely reacting.
Look at that.
Actually,
Look at that logo.
It's beautiful. I'm trying to figure out best option here. So I think I'm going to go full screen. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, that's better. How's that look? Okay, good. Here we go. Ready? Here we go.
Oh yeah, when I did watch it, it was very glitchy in the beginning. The recording.
And I'm going to record it as well. And my idea too is that we'll have the recording available for those who wake up a little later than 8:30 a.m. in the Eastern time. That sounds like some seriously fancy coffee going on there. But yeah, we missed the whole entire beginning part because I hadn't started recording.
There's been a lot of talk of like the anti-coffee on Farcaster.
I know. It's really funny.
It's cool.
All right, so you got I get it. All right. I feel like we need to pause every once in a while and explain it.
Yes, what was it? Just people decided coffee and caffeine was bad and everyone was giving it up?
Yeah, and there was a moment where like we said grab your coffee and come hang out with us. And people were like, I don't like coffee. And it went into this whole big thing about how much they don't like coffee. It was really funny. You don't like coffee? Yeah. Pick the beverage of your choice. I'm also drinking water with my flamingo cup. So yeah, this will be a common staple. So
no, I was just going to say, well, I was going to say about our time, like it's morning for us, but it's obviously global community. So it is good to record.
Very global. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was thinking is that, the way we'll do this is we'll be live on Unlonely, which I've been wanting to do for a while since I, really joined Farcaster and got to know like the space better and started to watch Unlonely. And I was like, this is really cool. I like the idea of a Web3 native streaming. YouTube's got a lot of noise, so it's kind of hard to even find your audience there. So I feel like this was a perfect way to like, I don't know, and really also to dive into like what's happening on Farcaster. I think there's so much amazing stuff going on every day that we maybe miss or don't really unpack. So that was kind of the idea behind this. And also just, I just kind of wanted to see you more and hang out. So it's whatever's really a little bit of that. Wanted to hang out and Stephanie too. So I actually
have hung out a lot in the past year.
A few other people, and she'll be joining us Wednesday. And we had Friday. And we had a chat and I was like, I'm thinking about streaming. She's like, I used to stream all the time. I love streaming. I like to stream cooking. And I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. So maybe she'll make breakfast one day.
Nice.
Okay. And we need to pause there for a second because the Stephanie that we're talking about is Galazio. And if you've seen Galazio's kitchen, that's what we were discussing. So she later on, like just a few months ago, started finally doing some little cooking segments that are like 5 minutes long and really awesome. And go check her out in the Galazio channel. And we did stream with her on that Friday, but it was a garbled mess. So it's the lost episode. So there you go. And I was like, who else would be great with this? Queen of the Seniors, Adrian. So that's why I was like, Adrian, do you want to do this? You want to get on here?
Just call me the Queen. Yes.
The Queen. I'm going to call you the Queen of the Seniors. I think the Queen of the Seniors is a great title. I mean, that's a fantastic title.
Long live the Seniors.
So we are live. This is our first stream. This is a very soft launch, stealthy launch. I didn't want to make too much noise, and we had tech problems like right off the bat. So that's why I didn't want to make. And we had like one viewer. We had 2 viewers. I think the first episode, one who was in the chat and one who was just watching. So shout out Chris co-created and just. But I want to dive in. So Adrian, like, what are you seeing on Farcaster in the past few days? It's like jumping out to you that's interesting that people should be taking a look at. Like, what's capturing your attention?
Okay, so obviously highlight me is the Farcaster channel.
Yeah, definitely.
And and Kelly, we've talked about this. Like, so I joined Farcaster.
Oh my God, you call me by my real
I want to say
name.
November.
Yeah, I didn't even know I knew
So
it.
I'm coming up less than a year. Like,
Oh, we should add that to trivia.
And
That's Bob's
and
real
loved it
name.
right away and got right in and very active and I tend to take a feminist slant to my entire life, but I'm also constantly surrounded by men.
You guys
and I
know
talk about
that?
men and hanging around with guys, and I work
There's
in
some
tech
news.
and like
Same.
so. But early on, I kind of found the girls in Farcaster. And by the way,
Because
someone posted
Farcaster is
on
for girls.
Farcaster yesterday that
You
New York
didn't know.
Times article about
And for
girls on the
everybody.
Let's
internet.
not go there.
For
It
everybody.
was like I'm a woman
was
in
really
my life,
interesting.
but I'm a girl on the internet. And
Yeah.
anyway, so
That was a great, by the way, yeah, for those who, if you haven't seen that, like go into Farcaster, HER channel, and you'll see that post. And it was really interesting. I read that too. It grabbed my attention for sure. And yeah, so dig into that. That's really interesting. Yeah,
forgot
I
this
feel
is
the
what we
same
talked
way.
about.
If you call me girl on the internet, I'm totally fine. If you call me ma'am anywhere in the world, like no,
Accurate.
just no.
If
Like,
DeWoofy's
call me
here,
girl
he
before
literally
you
just
call me
asked that in
ma'am. Like,
Farcaster this
ooh,
week.
that's so bad.
Oh, that's funny.
So your journey,
Whether-
so you've gone
whether
since
ma'am was
November, like you were
offensive.
pretty early.
No,
to
ma'am.
Farcaster, like really early. When did it launch? Not much
When did-
before that, right?
a couple years.
Okay.
It had been,
Oh,
but I
was
always say, even when I mean, it was still on testnet. We're only on mainnet
Yeah.
in the last few weeks.
That's right.
So, right. So even when I'm joining, everyone's talking about like, oh, it's too late.
Yeah.
And I keep I'm like, we're on a test net. There's
On a test.
it's not
That's
open
crazy.
invitation. Like you
I forgot
still,
about
I have,
that.
a, you're still DMing,
On Twitter to get an invitation, which is fantastic. That's funny.
and he's done a phenomenal job,
Amazing.
and not without critique, but he seems to take it all. But I remember just even in like December, when he's like, okay, the word of the day is this, DM me on Twitter. And I remember
Yes.
thinking like, do you need help with this? And seems like, how are you doing this? So
we're here to help.
even this would, I mean, I don't know if I'd call Farcaster even live today.
No,
It's-
not really. You're right. It's really in a beta-ish stage, maybe a beta 0.3 or 4, but yeah. Well, wait a minute. Which animal are we up to? Dolphin 4. Are we still on dolphin? Did we go past dolphin? I don't think so. So
Do
yeah.
you know
like
the
really-
names? Can you count out?
Alpaca, bison,
This would have been good for trivia.
capybara, dolphin,
Hmm.
something like that. I think that
Yeah,
was
that
right.
sounds right.
I think that was right. The C I'm not positive on, but I feel like it was capybara. Or am I making that up?
It was.
Might have been
It was
something else.
capybara. Spoiler alert. It was
No, I don't know.
capybara.
Now I'm questioning myself. Luckily, I have NFTs from almost all of those. So you can go back and check.
Of course
I
you
think I
do.
missed the alpaca. I think I just didn't understand what was happening. And I think I grabbed the bison and then from there.
I think I eventually grabbed the
dolphins
alpaca
are
too.
actually one of my favorite.
I have all
animals.
the other ones.
So it was like, I have a tattoo, a dolphin tattoo, as a matter of fact. So, all right, we're sliding back to what's exciting right now on Farcaster. So let's go back to Farcaster. So what is Farcaster, Adrian?
So
And-
Farcaster.
and why was this like exciting this week?
Yeah, it's just a channel for, it's for women, but not exclusive. And obviously we've been opening up channels for all sorts of topics. And I kind of made the joke, I think Ted started at least this recent surge of like, hey, maybe we want a space. And I kind of made the joke, I'm like, well, you've got channels for the NBA, the NHL, the soccer,
One.
for
yeah.
cricket. Like there were like 5
I
different
did.
sports. and the thing with women, the reason I don't always love doing the women is obviously like not all women have everything in common with each other. Like
Sure.
I do align on interest, not on
Mhm.
gender. So, but this idea of there's something nice about just kind of, I don't know, having this space for us. So I was
Yeah.
happy. And
just as a side note, I think that's why there are so many women on Farcaster, a lot more than some people realize, is because it does feel like a safe place to be. So, and I think the Farcaster channel was a big part of that. Even if you don't like, I don't even spend that much time there anymore. I'll check it like once or twice a day or something. But I think having it is a big deal. Really is helpful.
Yeah.
and Kelly, you know this, I'm not a collector.
I know.
Who is Kelly?
I am.
But I
don't even
love
remember.
I don't know who
Web3.
Kelly is.
I love blockchain, crypto. I'm like super into just the philosophy and the technology. And
So funny.
Farcast Her was the first kind of like, I was like, okay, I'm going to collect that NFT. So I collected it.
Did you who created
Right.
that one?
Remember, I used to not
Maybe
collect
Dan.
NFTs
Was it Dan?
as much as I love blockchain.
It just kind of like
Yeah.
appeared on my
So
feed,
funny.
and I was
No
like,
need-
man, I mean, it really like
I am
Your
Kelly.
wallet's full
do
of them
that
now.
thing that I tell my students not to do, which is like degen into things without really thinking too much. I was just like, ooh, pretty, mint it, it's just like without even, not even like looking to see who made this, what happened, what is this? I was just like, ooh, pretty, mint.
Okay, why do you tell your students not to do that? Safety
Oh, because
reasons?
you have to take, safety reasons, just
Yeah.
to like take a minute, make sure you're, and that's obviously the right way to go is, take a minute, understand what you're minting. And I don't mint randomly on any link. But if it's on Zora and it's on Farcaster, I'm like, I'm probably gonna mint it. If I like it, I'm gonna
Check my
go
wallet.
quickly and
Number
mint it.
4 on the enjoy
have a-
on the enjoy list.
NFTs do you own? By
Wait,
the way?
before I
Just-
answer that, can I just also like, so one of the reasons I like our relationship and one of the reasons
Yeah.
why is because I can bridge the worlds of like, and ask all the stupid questions. So can I play that role and just ask all the stupid questions that I
Yeah.
have? So
Yeah.
okay.
100%. And we were, hold on, before you do that, let me slide back just a little bit. So Farcaster is now a channel on Farcaster, just so we, put a bow on that one a little bit, a pink bow, if you will. That it just gives you a place where you can find the other women, really. Like for me, that's been like the biggest thing in the past couple of days is I've followed like 8 new women that I didn't know were on Farcaster. So that was like huge because we talk about like being able to elevate them and sometimes you just can't find them because they're not showing up in your feed. So that's been really awesome. So now go to your ask any question. Like go.
Yes, and then, by the
I
way,
love
when I was first kind of doing my wallet,
no
and got
idea
my
what this
first
question
NFT and whenever, and this was in 2020, like about 2 years ago, there was nothing but tutorials and advice on how to onboard safely and what to look out for. And I don't see as much of that anymore.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mhm.
So, but everything changes so fast. So I still have questions and I'm like, okay, well, and and I've
Changes
kind of
so
learned how to
fast.
figure things out. And and I just, by the way, so much to talk about it, going on 3
I know.
different tangents, but I just bridged to base this week.
Ooh,
And
just this week.
wow.
Wow, good
Yeah,
for you.
and thank you. And that was an
Wow.
example.
And basically
That was
live
like
for
a
how long? 2 months at this point? Not even a month?
Not even a
technical
month,
docs.
maybe
It's
5
really,
weeks.
August.
really
Yes.
understood.
August 8th.
What is base? How does it work? What is safe?
So yeah, a little over a month.
And by the way, and I would go to the UX and something would break and I would kind of have to,
Mhm.
I just trust. I was like, oh, I know base. It's, L2.
It's
I know
Jessie.
conceptually. It's Jessie.
It's Jessie.
Back, Coinbase. So it's like you have all these kind of,
Yeah.
and the user experience was so easy.
So
Just because
good.
I was on Zora, right? Oh, this is the Farcast Her NFT, which was on base.
Right.
I
Oh,
didn't
that's
have
right.
any
It was
Forecast Her was the first
Oh, I didn't
NFT.
have base. I was like,
I
oh,
minted
I
on
love that.
base.
So
I
just
love
the
that.
user
I
of
think
like,
it
okay, well,
was.
you need to bridge
That's
to
awesome.
base. Okay, I get that. I got to send my ETH from my main net to base. It was just so easy. I didn't read up on it. It just worked, and it was.
And we're getting there, right?
It was
I think
really
you just like
easy.
really summarized like where we've come from.
The unlonely chat right now is
from-
hilarious.
We
So,
still have a ways to
that
go
was me.
before it's even easier for like the
I love
norm.
it.
But
How do I do that?
so much easier. And like
You have to be a
every
VIP.
day, somebody, usually somebody who's on Podcaster makes something easier
Ooh, my accent.
for us, and I think that's fantastic. But I talk about that with students all the time. Like when I started in crypto, it was in 2017 and it was to buy crypto kitties because I saw an article that said you can learn about smart contracts from these kitties. And I'm like, what's a smart contract? And then I went down this hole for like a week, but it took me a week to figure out what is MetaMask, how to add it, where to find this ETH thing. I don't think you could even buy like fractions at that point, or I couldn't figure it out. Like I bought a whole ETH, but it was only $700 at the time. So it wasn't like
A whole one? A whole ETH?
Whole one.
It was
A
right
whole-
before it went
Oh my
really
God.
low when I really should have bought it.
Not that spark thing.
So it was really, you're right. It was so hard and it really took a lot of work. And now it's so much easier and it's really getting easier every day. Like they actually on summer, made it super easy within Coinbase just to be able to collect some NFTs. Like you just clicked a button and it was there. So really, yeah, I agree. It's getting so much easier. So what other questions or thoughts did you have then when you were like that you said that you had some questions?
Okay, so and even this week people are posting of like, anyone know of a scam around? My friend had their wallet drained. So that's always been in the back of my mind of like when you transact, what is safe?
Right.
And
great question.
In the world, I coined this term safe to empty wallet. And so it came from this in my life as a life philosophy that I actually pulled from the software world. I do safe to fail experiments. So in my day job, I'm trying to help teams create safe to fail experiments as you're building software. I started taking that as my life philosophy, which is how do you do safe to fail experiments? GM Farcaster, one of them. Like we
just talked about this the other day. I forgot this was from the
we did on Vibe Check.
Something interesting, and it's safe.
Oh, that's where it was. Okay,
right, exactly.
So when I first started transacting, and I was like, okay, I get the wallet, and now I'm scared that someone can I do something and everything in my wallet is drained. Right. Well, how do I should have a safe to empty wallet. If I fuck up and my wallet gets drained, it's fine. There's nothing in it that that if something happens, it's safe to empty.
That's
my
me.
wallet is no longer safe to empty. I need to figure out how to manage wallets better. And so
that's me actually doing that then.
But my question was going back to what you said.
I was doing it now.
You're like, why am I logged out of Unlonely?
An NFT on Zora, and it came from Farcaster. And like,
stop, Prop, what are you doing?
So
stop it.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm trying
Zora?
to see if I can show you this. I recently, I know where I'll go.
This is torturous. That's so funny.
That should let me do it. Okay. So I'm going to go to Base Paint and show you. I want to show. I don't think that'll work because that'll mess me up there. Never mind. Let me go to Zora.
Or
I want to show you
after because
we have like 2 seconds.
We have 3 minutes to wrap up too. So we could also just do the all this detailed stuff.
I was going to see if I could pull it up on the screen, but you know what I recently done was add something called Pocket Universe, and it's an extension on. So I haven't figured that out for mobile yet, but on Chrome,
and now MetaMask has something built right in.
It will pop up as you go to sign anything. So not even purchase anything, but just sign anything with your wallet. It'll pop up and say, yes, this is safe. No, this isn't. This is what's going to happen when you do this action. It'll pop up this little message, and that's what I was going to try and show you, but I'll show you after. This little message that says, yes, this is safe, or this is going to take from you X amount of ETH, and you're going to get these NFTs. It shows you exactly what's going to happen before you click it. And that to me has been a bit of a game changer, because I did see, it kind of relates to Vitalik having this hack that happened this week with on Twitter, and then that led to somebody posting a link that was malicious, and a lot of people getting.
I forgot about that.
So that
did Vitalik's Twitter account get
extensions, and there's a few of them, but Pocket Universe is one that I've used that seems to work really well. So I'd recommend that for sure.
How come you didn't have a ZNS attached?
Or that
because it was on Twitter.
Oh, it's Twitter.
Like safe to empty idea is interesting. So I think that's a good way to go.
Oh, you didn't own your account.
And my husband gave the example of like, look, and this is actually, you've got a bank account that's not safe to empty, but my wallet where I cash around, back in the day when we had cash, when we would, as a cashful society, but it was like, oh, okay, well, I got $20 in my wallet. If my wallet gets stolen, my life isn't ruined.
Right. Exactly. And we are already at 20 minutes.
Coffee's
I wonder
done.
and what's funny was like, oh, what are we going to talk about? Like, we really should plan. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was going to be easy. So what are you looking forward to today on Farcaster? Anything that you've seen that you're going to be following, or anything happening that you've seen in the scene?
So the Balaji Moment of Zen episodes dropped. Yeah. So there's been just a lot of discussion about those topics that are continuing. I think several people are jumping onto a Zoom later today to maybe even stream that and talk. So excited to be following that.
That's really interesting. I got to look for that. That's very cool. And I'll be on. So one of the things I'm going to just really quickly say is that Nouns descended on Farcaster yesterday and Warpcast. into the
Wow, that was
channel.
that
It has
week.
been very slow to get going, and then yesterday it was like,
That's
oh,
funny.
they're all here. They all found it. Because one person was like, we're going over there.
That person
So,
was Noun 40.
Chris, Corella, congratulations. You
And I was
finally
like, what's
made
a noun?
it.
I
Finally
still don't
made it
know.
over. Right? Good job, Chris. Little shout out. All right, that's 21 minutes. You're done with your coffee. We're done with what's happening with Farcaster, and we're going to be iterating on this. We'll be back on Friday with Stephanie joining us, so we'll have some fun here. I'm excited. So thanks for joining us, and let's see if I can stop our stream. And goodbye, everybody.
Have a great morning.
GM, have a great day.
Yeah.
Okay, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But also, I don't remember half of those things. That was really funny. I totally
Okay.
forgot that was the week that Nouns like actually showed up onto Farcaster. That was hilarious.
Yeah, and it was pre-permissionless. Channels
Yeah.
were like kind of
Just starting.
a big thing.
Yeah.
Vitalik got hacked. So much news. People have said about GM Farcaster throughout the year, right? That just and we know having just the recorded content would be nice to look back on, but just kind of having the time capsule. So just need an AI to actually do something with all this ridiculous hours of chatting we've done. But that was not as painful as I thought it'd be.
It was not as bad as I thought, but it's funny because we weren't showing screens yet. Like I couldn't even figure it out. I was having struggles with OBS. And yeah, just talking and just chatting. And there wasn't a ton of things happening at that point, but we still managed to fill 21 minutes. So pretty good. And if you're looking for the schedule, I just saw a question in the chat from Links. If you go to /GM Farcaster, the GM Farcaster channel, you'll see it pinned at the top within the replies are each of the segments. And you'll also see within that channel the overall schedule for events.xyz. You can click on that and just subscribe, and it'll be sent to you in the DCs. But also, a few of you are going to be joining us in about 8 minutes. So we're going to wrap this, take a quick 5-minute break, reset, and come on back with some GM Farcaster trivia, which, if you were paying attention, you might have picked up a couple answers during that last half hour.
Like,
and
what's
also,
your name?
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did specifically I noticed that I was wearing this shirt when I went to look at the episode 1 real quick, and I didn't watch it, but I just looked at it and I was like, oh, and it is the same pattern that's on our cups from episode 100 from FarCon. So this cup will eventually be available in our shop, but it's not available yet, but soon. So yeah, that was kind of funny. So that's why I'm wearing this shirt today, just for now. We actually have, and if you don't know about Nouns yet, you're going to know in this afternoon. So, but it's funny. I'm like, oh, I was talking about that then. By the way, the funniest thing is you calling me by my real name. It's so strange. A lot of people just found out what it was. So,
and we were like, and someone said this in the Unlonely chat, but we were like just getting to know each other.
Yeah, we didn't know each other well at all. Like we had just met. Like we had just met at FarCon in June. We hadn't seen each other again. Like we chatted a couple times on Zoom, and that was it. Like we hadn't met each other again in person. So until I think until December or something, or maybe before that, maybe right before that, actually December. I think in December we met up in person, and that was, and then yeah. So it's been, yeah, we've mostly been online friends. So, which is so appropriate to this ecosystem. So really funny. And they also started 4 minutes late.
Okay, right. A 23-hour, 55-minute live stream, total rug. If you guys actually paid attention, we have programming scheduled for 24 and a half hours.
It's true. We left room to be late.
So we have 30 minutes of, we can take some 5-minute
We have
breaks here
buffer.
and there and start late.
We have a 30-minute buffer.
And by the way, our total brand is we don't adhere to time. We're 5 minutes late often. I'm sorry.
Often.
And
Link said some, I think it was links in here that said time is a constraint we don't adhere to, which is really funny. Right from the beginning, which is hilarious. So
listen, we're going to take 5-minute breaks
yeah.
because you guys need 5-minute breaks too. And
we all need 5-minute breaks. And you're going to be the whole entire day.
If you guys have questions for any of the people we're interviewing or session, so if you have questions for Dan and you want anything you want us to chat about with him, shoot us a message.
Yeah, that would be great.
Or things you want to know about base, building on base, or purple, or nouns, or anything else, or poker.
Yeah, any of those
let us
things. If
know.
you have
Yeah.
questions, you can either drop them in the GM Farcaster channel or within the chat, and we will definitely dive in. By the way, I liked this, that Yes Crypto's idea, safe to fail channel, where people cast their examples. That's a good idea. It's actually a really good idea. And GM to Elliot, our intern, who's been making clips for us. And you're going to be busy today. That's what I'm going to say. Sorry. Just kidding. You don't have to do 24 hours of clips. Okay. So with that, we're going to cap it here for episode 155. We've done 155 episodes, plus the ETH Denver 2-hour episodes, plus FarCon, plus Cast Out. So that's kind of crazy.
Plus here for the art.
Plus here for the art. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. It's a lot of content. So thank you all for being here, for putting up with us, and being part of our journey. And I have to shout out all of our amazing chatters, because there are some of you who have been here almost from day one, pretty darn close to it. So we thank you for continuing to show up and be a part of our experience, because it makes it so much better. We would be bored if we were just talking to each other. So we thank you.
Safe to fail.
Very much. Safe
together.
to fail. Oops, safe to fail. And there we go. All right. And with that, my friends, we are going to call it here, and we will be back at 9:30 with GM Farcaster trivia. And for those of us who have to leave us, have a lovely day, but hopefully you'll stick around. And with that, bye-bye.